back. I was
A
just
couple
looking
that
at
didn't
them.
been back, but those were ones that,
The only reason I'm asking is because the residents up there are really kind of concerned about them, because they wander up during the nighttime up to the back and they're smoking cigarettes up by their property and everything else,
I
so.
call the sheriff, I call the state police.
Well, I'll just tell them once you've said that you've closed half
It's
of
half
it.
shut down, yeah.
All right. Thanks.
That's it, sure.
And thanks for taking care of Chicken Man too.
Sheriff, free chicken.
Thanks, Cliff. Super.
So, activities since the last meeting, I submitted the town's response to the Article 78 at the week ending October 16th. On October 19th, I argued the town's position in front of Judge Seiss in Montgomery County Supreme Court. We are awaiting a decision on that matter. I did contact the judge's chambers today to find out if there had been any decision rendered or where things stood. I was advised that it's still under consideration, but no decision had been made as of today. On October 22nd, I attended a meeting of the town planning board, the Montgomery County Planning Board in Fonda, at which time we attempted to present our site plan for review by their board under Section 239 of the General Municipal Law. They declined to do it because they had received a letter from Attorney Ayers that our filing of local law number 6 had occurred on October 15th, and that the site plan review that we conducted here, the most recent one, was on October 13th. And so, given that problem, they declined to review it. Scott Barton, our architect, was with me that night and offered to informally answer any questions they might have concerning the very particulars of the site plan itself, and they declined to even hear him. So I don't know at a future date whether Mr. Barton will be able to assist them in any review they may conduct, but they missed their opportunity to talk to our architect that evening.
Well, they just said they weren't willing to do an informal review, but when it's a formal
Well,
review.
we had a person there on salary, and that's being paid by us, to assist them in understanding the drawings, and they declined to hear it.
Well, perhaps
So-
we shouldn't have paid them to go there when they weren't even reviewing our
Well,
plans
I
that day.
don't know. It was on their calendar. It was part of their calendar because we had made the referral to them, and so that's where that stood. But meanwhile, back up here at the ranch, we had resolutions pending before the board meeting that night, which opened up the bids that, I guess, and were reported publicly. I just have a question for our town clerk. When you published the notice of the October 22nd meeting, did you characterize it as a special meeting, or how did you characterize it in the public notice? Do you have a copy of it? Yeah, thank you. I'd like to see that.
I know that I never called a special meeting for October 22nd, it was just.
Well, I don't know, but I would be
bid.
curious to know as to what the public notice was at this point.
Can I mention that we didn't pay extra to our architect to go to that
I
meeting?
know, but they're-
It was included in our
Okay,
fee,
well,
right?
he's-
Well, he'll
Well, I just
include
want
it
to
in
make
his
sure that
billable hours,
the
so
public
yes,
knows.
we paid.
I'm talking about the architect.
Yeah, we
That's
paid
it.
extra.
Scott was nice
Included
enough to
it in
show
his
up at the
hours.
meeting. I thought that was very, very nice of him to come because he, is trying to assist us in any way he can.
I didn't realize that.
And get paid to do it.
Charged extra, that I heard.
Well,
I don't know.
people. can-
Notice says the Town of Palatine Town Board will hold a special meeting on October
there we are.
22nd at 6 p.m. at the Town Hall, 141 West Grand Street, Palatine Bridge, New York, 13428. This will be a meeting to open and read aloud bids for the new town hall to be built in Stone Arabia. And I've also talked to the Association of Towns.
Mhm.
Any,
You don't
Time.
have to yell. Yeah,
I talk loud because I can't hear.
Let it come back.
Anytime the board meets, it's classified as a meeting.
That's right.
So, it's my understanding, I wasn't able to be in both places at the same time. We had a discussion about that last time. And in any event, I was at the county meeting, which I thought I could be the most help at. And so it's my understanding that once the bids were opened, that the meeting was gaveled closed. And that the resolutions that were available that night, because I had sent them to you, is that correct?
Correct.
Clerk Logan?
Yes.
And you had them there with you, and one of them would have re-ratified or reinstated our site plan review effective that night, so that plan would have been done after the October 15th date, thereby giving the county board the opportunity, if it chose to do so, to take the matter up, because now local law 6 was in effect and it had been ratified after October 15th. But that didn't happen because
Because you don't have the authority to call a special
the
meeting.
meeting was gavelled shut before it
The
could be
meeting was
considered.
never gavelled in.
Well, I don't know what happened, I wasn't present. All I know is that the public notice that was published was of a special meeting. And so at that special meeting, other matters could have been considered just as at any other meeting.
And it would
Did you
absolutely
object
have
to the
been
notice that
a
was published in the
violation
paper?
of open meetings law if they had.
Did you object to the public notice that was published? Did you object to it publicly when you were here that night on October 22nd? Did you say,
I
that's
ran
all
the-
wrong, that's not right? You didn't say that, did you? Did you? No, I don't think you did. So, in any event, you squandered our opportunity to
Don't
appear
yell
in
at
front.
me.
All right.
Don't yell at
You
me.
squandered our opportunity to appear before the county planning board that evening. That's, you can pound it all you want, but that's the reality of what happened. So, in any event, that's what took place.
Excuse me, please let me. So you, by fax, sent in 2 resolutions
There
that
were
no
several.
council members had seen prior to that night. And you expect us to hold a special meeting to adopt those resolutions which no member of the public, no member of the board has seen prior.
Well,
That
Well,
is a violation of open meetings
it's
law.
not. Let's
And
have-
you
let's
are
have
an
a show of
attorney,
hands of
and
any
it
of the other
is absolutely your job
No.
to let us know
No.
what is legal and what is not legal, and you keep leading us
Let's-
down the road
Let's have a show
toward
of hands
illegal
of the board
actions.
members who found who did not feel that they would be able to act on those resolutions. Is there anyone among the board that felt that they couldn't have acted had they been given the opportunity? If so, raise your hand.
Many times we've acted on resolutions that
Presented
we
the
brought
same
up
night.
the same night that we brought up ourselves.
Correct.
So this is what I'm used to as far as,
So the answer to the question is no,
Last
nobody
minute.
has an objection to having been given the opportunity to.
I have
to
an
do it.
objection.
Well, I know you do. I'm
And-
just saying the 4 other members of the board.
And the law has an objection,
Well,
so.
when, I don't want you to be pronouncing on what is lawful and what isn't
I
lawful.
know,
All I'm
because
saying
it's
to you
really
is,
tough to hear the actual.
all I'm saying is that you
law.
gavelled the meeting closed before the board members could consider that resolution. And so therefore, you basically squandered the opportunity that night for us to have the meeting with the county planning board and have them conduct their review.
So
Because they
basically,
had
I
no,
did my
wi-
job.
and
Great.
you appeared down there.
And by the way,
I have-
any board member always has the opportunity to introduce a resolution at any meeting. And so at that meeting, no board member introduced a resolution, and that was that.
can I
That's
just
not what I was
ask
told.
the attorney a question?
Sure.
Okay, the meeting wasn't gavelled open and we didn't salute the flag or do a normal call to order.
There was no adjournment either.
We just opened, right, we didn't open the meeting, we didn't salute the flag, we didn't conduct any business other than opening the bids. So, was it a legal meeting?
Well, she gave notice that it was going to be a special meeting.
Sure, it was legal.
So there was nothing improper about the fact you were gathered here to
Right.
conduct a
I'm just
special
used
meeting.
to having a
No, I
meeting
know.
called to order.
Well, I don't know what procedures
No,
were
it
followed
was
that night
just-
because I wasn't present.
We in our meeting agreed to gather to open the bids. That was it. And that's what we did. We posted it, that's what we did, and then we left. If we had done anything more, then it really would have been disingenuous to the public to carry on business when we had absolutely no notice of what it is that we would have been doing. As it is really disingenuous to the public when every month we come forward. I have not seen any of these resolutions, once again, that you put in front of me, and we're supposed to vote on them. And the public hasn't seen them, we haven't seen them. I take the law very seriously.
Yes.
I hope that you would too, but instead, here we are asked to vote on these things that we have never seen before.
That's why we get here a half an hour before the meeting starts,
Oh,
so
so
we can review our
that's
packet.
the way you do it.
Plus, we have to do the vouchers, so
Half an hour
Well,
before.
in any event,
it takes a good,
You have to sign the
yeah, it
vouchers.
takes a while to sign the vouchers,
And
so.
read stuff.
But you come in at the last minute, so no wonder you don't get to read them.
All right, well,
Amen to that.
that, so, let me just say this. I don't know exactly what's gonna take place for the balance of tonight's meeting, but I would say this. If the board wants to, have this matter back before the Montgomery County Planning Board for their November 19th meeting, it must be submitted at least a referral must be submitted to them at least 7 days prior to that, which would be November 12th, okay? Or whatever. So I don't know whether the board wants to do anything further on this tonight, or they want to set a date sometime between now and the 12th in order to do that. And I heard Attorney Ayers speaking as I was coming in about setting, having a set of rules and guidelines and all this kind of stuff. Well, I mean, standards, I could do a little further research on that. I think at one point in one of his commentaries, he said something about the Village of Canajoharie has a 12-page protocol for site plan review. I don't believe our own planning board has a protocol for site plan review because they have done it so rarely in the past, if at all. But in any event, we could probably develop some standards. However, I would say this: if you're not going to do anything on the subject tonight, fine. But sometime between now and the 12th, we have to meet and do that final site plan review so it can be legitimately before the county board at their November 19th meeting. Normally they meet on the 26th, but because of the Thanksgiving holiday, I guess they moved it to the 19th. So that sort of truncates it a little bit. But that would be my suggestion. And my last remark would be, I would suggest the need for an executive session on the status of the Village of Canajoharie tax certiorari matter, which I'd like to go over a couple items with that. And we do have a resolution tonight to hire an appraiser to prepare an appraisal report, should we intend to go forward with the litigation and not settle with the village, based on the numbers as we know them now.
All right, so we've just received that resolution, but we did at the last meeting say we would discuss the certiorari and make decisions tonight. So will we be able to do that, being that we just got this resolution?
Well, I would.
I'm asking Sarah.
Yeah, go ahead. That's yeah, sure.
Just as a matter of good government, any resolution that we decide on in an evening should be introduced and put on the agenda ahead of time by the council member or the supervisor. It shouldn't be a surprise to everybody involved. Does that complete your report?
Well, the only thing I would say is if you decide that you cannot settle based on the numbers as you know, and you want to have the case be ready for trial in February, a decision needs to be made fairly soon to hire the appraiser, because he will take perhaps 30 to 60 days to do his work or her work, and we're about 90 days out from the trial date. So do what you will, but there is a resolution to, we did have the paperwork from him through Leanne's office some time ago. So these are numbers that we've known for a while.
And didn't we already in executive session approve moving forward with the appraisal?
Well, it's never been done by
Can't take action in
resolution
executive
because
No, I know, but we
came out of
as
it
you would like to say, of course, in order to spend money, we have to have a resolution. So here it is.
That's what I'm saying, but why do we need another executive session? We already discussed
Well,
this.
there are elements of the current state of discussions that I think should be done in
Of
private
the
on this case.
Canajoharie
Yes,
case?
yes,
Is it legal to sign this resolution tonight?
of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Well,
Oh, this one we
no.
can.
This one we can, but the other ones we can't.
You can, the board, can take up these matters if it wishes, irrespective of what other comments have been made here tonight. If they want to, they can.
I mean, I just got this one. I don't know.
So we had
Well,
We
already
gotta vote at the same time, so
agreed.
if we can
to-
approve one, we should be able to approve all of them.
We didn't agree, at the last meeting, we said we'd discuss it
I
tonight,
think we had a
right?
discussion back in August, possibly.
Yes.
That if necessary, we would get an appraisal, but
Okay.
the particulars of how that was to be done and the exact dollar amounts were never talked about.
So
So,
here it is.
there it is.
And is there something else that you think that we need to talk about in
No, that's what I
executive
want to
session?
talk, well, no, I want to talk about where things stand with our negotiations with the village before you make that
Are you
decision.
sure you don't want to talk about something else?
Nope, I have nothing else on my mind. I've cleared my mind completely.
Great. Does that complete your report?
It does.
Linda?
Well, I've been busy with minutes and everything else that's been going on. And I want the board's approval if needed. Someone has misplaced the key to the town hall in an office. And I think I was told when I took over the responsibility of getting the keys made and changing the locks so they couldn't be duplicated, that if any set of keys were ever lost, we had to change the locks and get all new keys for the office. So, I called,
Are you talking about me?
I wasn't gonna say your name.
That's okay.
But
That's all right.
I
They're not
wasn't gonna
lost.
say,
I'm sure they're in a jacket pocket.
Well-
No need to change all the keys. I will find them.
well,
It's
I
no
just
problem.
wanna make sure if you don't find them,
Yeah,
Sarah.
no,
I wasn't
just-
gonna mention who it was,
If it's that
but-
important, then I will find them within the
It is
next 24
important.
hours.
How do you know if they are in a jacket pocket? And when did you notify Linda that they were missing?
I just wanted, if for
It's
some
fine.
reason they're not found, it's gonna be about $300 to change all the to change the 2 locks and get new keys made. And I wanna be able to have the authority to do it if I need to do it.
You won't need to do it.
Okay,
I'm
all
sure
right.
they're in a jacket pocket.
Okay, all right, I
Well, I
just,
didn't know anything about it, so I wasn't
It's,
gonna
I-
ask.
it's
no,
a
I
non-issue.
didn't. I didn't tell anybody and I wasn't gonna mention who it was, but,
Anything else for your report?
no, I guess that's it.
Jim Telfer.
Fine. Well, I guess you're gonna have to bear with me a little bit after the little discussion that we all just had, so I'll apologize up front if I go off on a tangent. I pretty much just wanted to talk tonight about myself, the planning board, and some of the items that have been brought up over the past several months regarding the town hall, zoning, regulations, duties, responsibilities, and all that stuff of myself and the planning board. I guess I first want to introduce, for those of you that don't know me, I'm Jim Telfer. I'm the chairman of the planning board for the town of Palatine. I've been a resident here in the town of Palatine for 20-plus years. I grew up in Ephrata. I've been a member of the planning board for 10-plus years. Been a chairman of the planning board since Brian Sweet left for 4 or 5 years. My main goal, I guess, for tonight, addressing everybody, is to just let everybody know where I stand, myself, and enlighten everybody where the planning board stands as regarding the town hall project. My position personally is I'm for the town hall project. I know we need to do something to take care of our issues for seating, capacities, parking. Ronnie Dygert, Leanne, the building is a wreck. We definitely have to do something. We've spent a lot of money, taken a lot of time to prepare the site that we have up in Stone Ridge. I will say, after spending all that time, all that money, all of the efforts, it's probably the best idea to put the building up there. But we've had some issues along the way. There's been a ton of discussion. The town is in turmoil. Everybody's having arguments, fights, all kinds of stuff that's going on. Friends that used to be friends are no longer friends. And it's gotten a little out of hand. It's gotten a little ridiculous. I'm a little worked up over some of the stuff that's made it ridiculous just from comments that were made just a little while ago. Believe it or not, I've spent 2 days preparing an 8-page reading of what I wanted to say tonight. And I want it to take a ton of time. But everybody needs to know what the facts are, what's been going on, because everybody's going by what she said, he said, they said, someone else said. I don't think any one person in this room knows the truth about what has exactly happened, what is exactly going on, and where we stand today. I've gotten a little sick and tired myself of seeing postings on Facebook, seeing blurbs on other social media sites, turmoils that's going on here, being caught up the street at a coffee shop or whatever and getting harassed by somebody saying, what the hell's going on? What's wrong with you guys? I think everybody's gotten a little sick of that, haven't you? You know, we need to pull together, sit down, start over, and see what we need to do to move forward. Okay? Since this whole thing started, I'm going on and on and on, that I haven't even planned on what I actually plan on talking about. But since this thing started, we've had different situations that have come up every single month where the town board has made decisions, and maybe the decisions weren't made correctly. Maybe they were made by opinions that, or recommendations or comments that were given to them by someone else, be it a resident, town attorney, the opposition's attorney, you know, and anybody, okay? They're trying to make decisions for the town. I hope that's in the best interest of the town and the residents. As you go through and look at every single month when they've made decisions, they're making decisions that they're not allowed to make. They're trying to move forward with laws and regulations to do the town hall project because it's something that they've actually put their mind to and decided that they're gonna do. Even though they can't make these decisions. The law says, you can't do this, you can't do that. We have our own town laws put in place for a reason. I have people that come to my planning board meetings every month, not necessarily every month, nearly every month, for us to act on a request by them to subdivide a piece of property, or want to sell a piece of property, or they have an old piece of property that they owned that was separated and they want to put it back together, whatever, but it's all related to property. And it's our job to help them and explain to them how our government put together these rules and regulations, and we're supposed to guide them to put up with that, or deal with that, or live with that. Every single time I listen to the town board try to make a decision because it's not what they want to hear, we've given them tons of ideas and tons of comments and recommendations, and the county planning board has, and soil and water has, all these other people have told them different things. If they don't like it, they decide to change their rules so that they suit them. That's not their government. That's what's been going on. Nobody can dispute it because it's been happening every single month. You're not necessarily do it on purpose, but you're doing it. I've been asked time and time and time again by a couple of different people, tell us what we're doing wrong. I'd really like to know what we're doing wrong. I misspoke myself, I think, many, many times when I said, you guys are just doing it wrong. I don't think wrong is the right answer. I think it's incorrectly. It's not necessarily wrong. It might be illegal. I mean, if you look at the actual laws and regulations that are out there, They're obviously illegal. There's been lawsuits filed, there's been lawsuits won, there's been lawsuits lost. But every single time, we've had to go back and do something over because we failed to do it right the first time. Didn't necessarily do it wrong, you did it incorrectly. I voiced my opinion nearly every single month. We've attended the board, the town board has attended, I can almost throw this away now. The town board has attended planning board meetings, and we've discussed issues. We've made comments. It's been brought up. It's been discussed since January. We're in October. We still don't have a building board. I made recommendations and comments to you, not necessarily legally, because I wasn't given, or my board wasn't given the time that they needed, nor deserved, nor legally was expected to have to conduct a fair process. That word has come up several times. It's a process. And I've told many people that it's been a process. Might take a couple of weeks, might take a couple of months, might take 6 or 8 months. It depends on when I get the documents in front of me, what we look at, if all of the information is there, and if I have to get other information so that I can make a proper decision on what we do, so that we don't have to worry about pending litigation. My biggest problem that I have at this point, without going through any of the specifics, because I haven't listed any of them, but I've got it all documented, I'm gonna give you a copy when I leave. At at a county planning board meeting that was attended by myself, Marcy Mattis, Sarah, Betty, Mr. Subic, Mr. Ayers, a few members of the public. Mr. Subic made a statement that the town planning board was unwilling to act or do anything regarding the town hall project. It's totally untrue. You can go to any one of the meeting minutes and look at, between town board and planning board, what was discussed, what was said, and everything. I submitted copies at that meeting so that they could see that. Guess what? The county planning board decided that we were right and they did something incorrect again. They just tried to do it again, just the other day. Tried to do something that they're really not supposed to do. Could they do it? Yeah. They're not supposed to. Why circumvent? It's just a building. It's just a town hall. Everybody knows we need it.
Not everybody.
I think everybody wants it. I'd be willing to bet that there